everyone, in this video I have another scrapbook process to share with you. For this one I am using the Paige Evans Whimsical collection. Such a beautiful collection. I love it so very much. Anyways, this is a layout that I will admit took me a very long time. It's just one of those ideas I sort of dreamed up one night and then wrote it down and then just had to do it. So I'm starting off with this paper. I think it's paper 23 from this collection. Just this sort of circles of semicircles, and I've seen lots of people create layouts with this, and most people have cut up the circles, punched out the semicircles, cut them and rearranged them, which is fab, and that's what I plan to do with my other one of these papers. But for this one I just wanted to keep it together. So I've started off, you see me here, I am paper piercing every little circle, sort of the inside of the semicircles, and then I am going to stitch every single one of those circles. I have pulled out my embroidery silks and found rainbow colours there, and I'm going to do those in rainbow order. Yes, I am starting with pink, and I know it upsets people to start with pink or even include pink on the rainbow, but you know what, it's my layout and I'll do what I want, and I like pink. So yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm also going to be doing a chain stitch for this one, so just in case you're not familiar with a chain stitch, it's basically I'm not very good at explaining sewing things, so I apologise in advance, but you go up through your hole and then go back down through the same hole, keeping hold of some of the thread before it goes all the way through, and then you go back up through the next hole through that loop and pull it tight. My goodness, that was a terrible explanation, wasn't it? I am so sorry. Paige herself explained a chain stitch in a video about a year ago, and it was absolutely perfectly explained, but I'm not very good at it. Here I think you can see a little better what I'm doing there. So you make the loop, you go back down through your original hole, and then go back up through the next one, sort of catching that loop that you've created. So yes, I've gone around every single one, as I said, in a rainbow order, and yeah, it took me some considerable time, I'm not gonna lie, and often when I do like things like this in videos, I get comments that say, oh, you must have so much patience. And you know what, I am one of the most impatient people in the world, trust me, I really am. It is one of my faults, and I will readily admit that. So with me, when I create these things, I don't think it's a matter of patience, I think it's just stubbornness. Like, I've had this idea and damn it, I'm gonna do it. I don't care how long it takes me. So yeah, I'm gonna say stubbornness more than patience. Anyways, at the edges here, I've obviously the circle doesn't go all the way around, so I'm just doing little edgy bits. And what I do for the very last stitch is to kind of cheat so it looks like it's a completed chain stitch. I'm just going back through the last two holes twice. I'm just going to do it there. So that was a total cheat, but I didn't know how else to do it, because sewing and stitching is certainly not my forte. I can do it simply for stuff like this, but no more than that. Anyways, with that stitching done, I am now going to take my craft knife and cut out, or sort of cut out, every single one of the semicircles on the page. So just going around the curved part of it and leaving the straight part so I can bend up all of those little semicircles. I'm not going to cut any of them. If any of them, like if their edges get too close to the edge, or if they partially go off the paper, I'm not going to risk cutting those ones. I'm only cutting the absolute complete ones. So again, this took some time. And I haven't done it perfectly either, I would say. There are some that are a bit nyeh, but I don't think it really matters because it's so busy and there's so much going on anyways. I think little things like that you can get away with more on a layout like this. So yes, with that done, I found my photo, which is a picture of my mum and little 2-week-old baby me, and I die cut it in a circle that would fit almost exactly in that circle in the centre there. And I have actually scrapbooked this photo before, about a year ago actually, so some of you with incredibly good memories may remember that, but I did that as a layout for a gift, so I haven't actually got it scrapbooked for my own albums. So obviously I needed to back the layout because otherwise you would see through all those little circles that I've cut, and I just went through every flipping paper in this collection and I could just not decide on which one to use. I just going, it's not right, it's not right. I needed bright and colourful, I needed to be kind of uniform, and I needed a little bit of white as well so it would really poke out. So remember this one from the Turn the Page collection, so not her previous collection, but her previous but one collections. This was September 2017 that came out, cracky. And yeah, I decided on that paper. So here I am adding glue to the bag, obviously not adding it to any of those cut out semicircles. I chose to use my slow drying tacky glue here because, well, you know, it took a while to get all the glue on, so a slow drying was very much needed. And then just pressing that down, making sure everything's in place, and then I'm just going to lift up all those little semicircles again. And then once I've done that, it's just a case of doing all the embellishments, really. It's one of those where, because obviously it's so busy, I couldn't go too nuts with the embellishments, so I had to kind of keep it small, keep it simple. Oh, here I'm just backing that photo, by the way, just sticking it down onto a scrap of paper and doing a really, really thin edge of that bright pink. It just needed something, even though it fit quite perfectly in that little center circle there, it just needed something else, sort of bring it up a little bit. So here, this is from the 6x6 paper pad, this sort of sheet full of sentiments, and I'm cutting out some of these. They were quite fiddly to cut out, I will say, but I think they look quite good on this layout at the end of it. And then here I'm just taking some of the rub-ons, just some of the little like rows of crosses and some little stars or something, and just putting those on in various places. Now, while I remember, because I wrote myself a note to remind me to say this to you guys, I now have an Amazon storefront, so hopefully will save me some time in linking all the things and be easier for you guys, because, you know, I get asked what's your favourite glue to use, what's your favourite this to use, and if you click onto my Amazon storefront, everything's listed in categories, all the favourite things I like to use, frequently used things. So yeah, do pop on over to there if you're interested. Obviously it is an affiliate scheme, so in full disclosure, I do get a tiny percentage of any sales. Doesn't cost you guys any extra though, so I'm just letting you know that's there. It will be in the description box. And what am I doing now? I'm still going with the rub-ons. No, I am cutting out those teeny tiny little sentiments, and I'm going to glue those on in little places there. As you see, I am using my craft tweezers because they were very, very little and diddy and fiddly. The other thing I have written down to tell you guys, which is something that has been around for a couple of weeks now, and I have totally forgotten to tell you about it, is ms.paperlover now has a Facebook page. So if you are on Facebook and would pop on over, again, the link will be in the description box, and just give my page a little like, I would really, really appreciate it. Some of you already have, so thank you to those who have already done it. I just have forgotten to mention it because I forget things in voiceovers. They're just so stressful. Anyways, let's talk about what I'm doing. The little sort of titles I've added there that say "Isn't it lovely" and "The Happy Life" are from the chipboard thickers pack, and as you saw, I just popped those on with some tacky glue. Here I am taking some teeny tiny little floral stickers from the sticker book and just popping those in little places, and taking some of the puffy stickers here and doing the same thing. And it's just because of the way the layout is, I couldn't really do embellishment clusters. It just wouldn't have worked, so I'm just popping them in, hiding under the circles and showing up in some of the white bits and stuff, and I just think it looks really sweet. You can find all these little things, and this is the ideal thing for me to do in terms of enjoyment, because I just love all my little elements on layouts like this, like finding all sorts of little bits and pieces. So I think I'm done with using stuff from the collection now, and I'm gonna go in with my Nuvo Drops, because this was I add Nuvo Drops to every layout, obviously, but this was one where I really could go nuts with them. So colours I'm using, pretty much the same colours I used in my last layout where I used Whimsical, but we've got the white gloss, apple green, dandelion yellow, and bubblegum blush. So again, I'm just going around, popping those on places, being very careful not to smush them, because with that, all the sort of 3D elements going on, it was a bit risky in places, but so I'm being quite careful about where I'm putting them and stuff, and making sure any of those little circly flap things aren't going to smush down on them. And I think, yes, I am finished. So thank you so much for watching this video, everyone. Links, including that Amazon thing I was telling you about, will all be in the description box below. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed, share to me in the comments, and yeah, I'm going. Thanks so much again. Bye bye!